Hello, Pokemania fans. This is this week's Card of the Week. I'm Scientist James, and today I'm going to be showing you a card that managed to get me through to the Doncaster City's Top Cut Final 8 match. And this is Malamar EX from the Phantom Forces set. Malamar EX is brilliant because it has Hyper Hypnosis ability. When you attach an energy from your hand to this Pokemon, you may put your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep. So basically, every turn I could attach to Malamar and put my opponent to sleep. So percentage-wise, my opponent could be asleep for 50% of the game. Maybe more if they keep rolling tails to try and wake out. And maybe less. Okay, and it's probably no good me just attaching all my energy to Malamar. So I ran it in a fairy deck using Aromatisse, who has the ability Fairy Transfer. As often as you like during your turn, you may move a fairy energy attached to one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. So what I would do is I would attach an energy from my hand onto Malamar, put my opponent's active Pokemon to sleep, and then move that energy wherever I needed to move it to. You can see there's a bunch of Pokemon on here. I'm not going to go through it all with you now though. We're going to jump straight into a game and see Malamar EX in action. Okay, so here we are on PTCGO, the online game. And I've got a few Pokemon to choose from, to start from, but I think I'm going to go gung-ho with Malamar EX. And I'm probably going to bench Spritzy. And that'll do me. Well, I'm against Gengar EX, which is weak to Dark, which is wonderful for Malamar EX. Any damage I do will be double against him. And I've also got Yveltal EX ready in hand, but it's a Hypnotoxic Laser to try and slow me down, and he does get a heads to put me to sleep. Verbank City Gym is going to do 20 extra damage on the poison, and Tails, I stay asleep. Well, let's get Yveltal down, get rid of that Verbank City with my own Fairy Garden. I'm going to Juniper, so I may as well save the Pokemon, and the Rainbow Energy is more important. It does 10 damage when I attach it, but yes, I'd like to put that Pokemon to sleep. Thank you, Malamar EX with Hyper Hypnosis. And I'm going to Juniper away the rest of my hand and draw 7 fresh cards. And not much else I can do there, except for maybe roll heads. No, I don't. So I stay asleep. And unfortunately, my opponent did roll heads and he's awake, so there's an example of it not quite working out, the Hyper Hypnosis. Because obviously they can roll heads and wake up. So my opponent has got a Robo substitute on the bench, a Sigilyph, which could cause me issues because I don't run that many non-EX Pokemon. Sigilyph with his Safeguard ability prevents damage, and he's evolved into... Oh, he's also using the Rainbow Energy there, and he's got no cards left in his hand. He's evolved into Dragalga, Poison Barrier. Your opponent's poison Pokemon cannot retreat. So even if I wake up, which I do, I can't retreat. So what can I do? Well, I'm going to evolve Aromatisse. And now I do know I have Keldeo in the deck. If it's not prized, I could use Keldeo to use his ability to rush in and free Malamar, but first of all, I'm going to attach my energy, Hyper Hypnosis, put Gengar to sleep. Now if I've got Keldeo, I've pretty much got the nuts here, so Ultra Ball away, Fan Club and N. I'm not going to be using N because he's got no cards in his hand and I don't want to give him 6 fresh cards. Yep, there's Keldeo, so I'm going to bench him. So take a quick look at that ability. Rush in, I can move in without having to retreat. So in we go, which gets rid of the poison. Now I'm going to use my fairy transfer and move an energy. Rainbow is any kind of energy, any kind of basic energy. So I move him over, and now I can max potion. Normally max potion you have to discard any energy attached, but thanks to fairy transfer I can move the energy off. Juniper there, so now I can retreat into the big boy, OVERTON, who does 20 plus 20 for every energy attached to both me and the active Pokemon. So that's going to be 20, 40, 60, 80, then another 20 for the muscle band. He's got damage on him already, and weakness comes to a grand total of 240, which is definitely a KO, and I'll take 2 prize cards. Of course it was 240 because you include the 20 damage that you start off with, which is why that came to 240, and now my opponent is in a real pickle. No energy on the board, no cards in hand, and I'm pretty much good to go. I would almost certainly expect, yep, here he comes, Sigilyph. Now this is why I benched Suicune, because at least he can do some damage. So, Fairy Garden. First I'm going to use the Zero Sick, which discards any special energy or tool in play, including my opponent, so get rid of that double colourless. Attach an energy, Hyperhypnosis. And now I can retreat, using the Fairy Garden, into Suicune, and I've got just enough energy on board. And even though I'm committing all my energy onto this one Pokemon, there's literally no real way of him getting all the energy he needs unless he plays very specific cards. So I can afford to leave all my energy on there. Okay, he wakes up, but that's still 70 damage. And yeah, this is looking good. I'm obviously going to be attacking with Suicune again in this next turn if he doesn't retreat, and then I'm going to use Malamar EX's second attack, Maximar, which is 60 times. You flip a coin for every energy attached, and it does 60 times the number of heads. So with the 3 energy I've got on there, I could effectively knock out most EX Pokemon if I flip 3 heads for 60, 120, 180 damage. So let's try and get this Maximar attack off. But first, okay, I'll attach the energy to Malamar, but I'm going to attack it and KO it anyway. But there again, you can see just relentlessly putting my opponent to sleep. And I'm going to swap out 1 rainbow energy for a fairy, because that rainbow is necessary if I want OVERTON EX or Malamar to do damage, because that would take place of the dark energy requirement. And there's a KO, and I can't see how I'll lose this game here. What's he gonna do? Well, he's put Robo Substitute forward. What does he drawn off the top of his deck? Well, nothing, because he has decided not to continue. So there we see Malamar EX. We didn't get to see the Maximar, unfortunately, but you can see every turn I'm attaching energy to Malamar, putting my opponent to sleep, and that can really slow them down, even against Pokemon like Seismitoad.